Hey guys, welcome back to another video on the channel. Today we're on the console version of Assetto Corsa, driving the Tatuus Fa01 around Mugello. It's taken from the online event that's available to choose. Wanted to get something a little bit different, obviously focused on a lot of GT3s recently, and wanted to just try a different car. So open wheel car, back to where I started off. Open wheels is probably where I started racing more so on the F1 games when they first came out. So we're going to do a run in this car and just get a base setup for it. It's not going to be an ultimate like fast as you can get it set up at the moment. This was going to be first within I spent about an hour and a half, 2 hours on it, just quickly. I've not even driven this car. I think I driven it when the game first came out once, just to see what it was like, and I liked it then, but I wanted to get back into it and then get a reasonably good setup for the online event that's available. So you can see there it's handling the corners really well. I think this first lap we did 2 laps just to make sure we got it consistent. I didn't want to just do one hot lap. We've actually gone a fair bit faster than this now than what we've achieved in these laps. I found that in online sessions it seems to be a bit faster, but I'll we'll talk about that once we've done our second lap, which is a slightly faster lap than this. But you can see it's handling the corners really well. You just got to be. I had to dial a bit of understeering in certain situations just to watch the back end. For this corner, for example, you have to really turn in early and get the car into that apex as early as you can. If you brake slightly late, it just runs wide and understeers. But if you're too heavy on the brakes, back end flicks out. So it's really delicate setup to get right. And I think we've got it pretty much as nice as I could get it for a base setup, and then we'll fine tune it properly over the few weeks and let you guys fine tune it how you want to drive it, obviously. But I think just for a setup to get some reasonably good lap times, this is working reasonably well. In the race it was doing the exact same times as it did here. It can hit low 46s with the full fuel for the 5 laps, it's no issue. That first lap of 146.3. Obviously now that with this car it takes a bit of time to get the brakes warmed up, so we're going to brake just in between the 150, going down into 3rd gear, then hard on that power as soon as you can, and then get the car back over to the right hand side, swinging it back into this left hander in 4th gear, then into the right hand in 4th gear. Try and take some of the curb on the right so you can keep the power all the way through that corner. Going into the next corner, we're going to go into 5th gear, then back down to 4th gear for this left handed there, trying to take the curb again on the left, then swing it back to the right so you can take that flat out. We had to give it a very slight lift through that corner, maybe lost a tenth or so, but you can see we're already up on the delta. Going into this right hander, we missed the apex quite a big amount there. You can see we were way off the apex and we've actually lost quite a bit, about a tenth on that corner. Going into this really fast right hander, flat out now into 6th gear, we don't lift, keep it all the way down and then chuck it and use some of that curb on the left edge just to widen the angle into that last part of the corner. Then going into the braking zone, going down into 4th gear, attack this corner nice and early, get on the power as early as you can, and then get into this left hand curb as early as you can as well, just to stop the understeer kicking it wide. Now we're going to go into 5th gear and then briefly we're going to go into 6th gear, back down to 4th gear, and again look how tight I take that corner. It's really important to take this corner nice and tight, lifting off the throttle once you feel the grip, hard on the power. Then we're going to go flat out through this really fast chicane section, and then looking for our braking point. We can brake very late with this car. Obviously open wheel car can brake extremely late, so we're going to brake past that whiteboard on the right, going down into 4th gear. I don't want to go into 3rd gear. 4th gear gives really good grip and then it gives you really good pull out of the corner, so hard on the power and then flat out. Now you can see we're about 2 tenths up on our previous best there by the looks of it when we go over the line, and we're going to go over the line on a 1 minute 46 point, let's have a little look, 146.117. but like I say, I have actually got into the 145s, 145.8 I think I've achieved in an online session. So you know, the setup will do it, and that was just a very quick base working of the setup just to get it consistent. I wanted to get at least 2 laps consistent with it. It will do 5 laps on the soft tyres. Just bear in mind that once you go into the longer races, when private lobbies come out, you're going to need to probably go on medium tyres. Brake balance, you can see there, we run it on 52, and front aerodynamics 7, and rear on 3. That gives us some reasonably good straight line speed down the straights, but it gives you the front end needed for them really like fast flowing corners. So you've got a nice balance towards the front, but the rear gives you some speed down the straight, so it seems to run really well on that. Gearing, I think we only owe to the 6th, taking it down just so it wasn't bogging down when you go into 6th gear. The coast, to get to 80 you have to go up and then down. It's like a glitch coast, it's a bit weird. On power, minimum on 10 there, and then tyre pressures 14, 14 and 15, 15 felt okay for 24 degrees. Bear in mind if it's a bit warmer you may need to up them slightly. Cambers very strong on the front and very strong on the rear, seem to really help out with this open wheel car, give me a lot of grip through them corners. And toe angles on the rear, we actually ran them quite high, and the front's quite high as well. Just seem to settle the rear end down going through some of them corners. Going into ride height, you can't lower the front end on this car. I tried it on the PC and you can actually alter different things. It's very strange. It makes me think the physics are quite a bit different, but we'll have a little look at that another time. Rear on the down to 13 there, that was just to settle the rear down again. Bumps on the front, I think we lowered them slightly from the default setting. And then fast bump lowered down there. Rebound, I think we actually added a bit more to the rebound to settle that rear down when you're changing direction really fast. It's really important that. I think the default's around 13 or 14, but we up that just to give more stability when we're changing from left to right through some of them fast corners. Travel range, we max that out again. I think that's quite important for this car. It just seemed to really help it out on some of the bumps on Mugello. Quite a bumpy track, and obviously with an open wheel car that runs quite stiff, seemed to help the car out, and it felt reasonably easy to drive. Takes a bit of getting used to it. At first you might find the back end kicking out on you, but once you get used to it, lifting off, letting the car coast a bit and then getting on the power, I found it quite enjoyable to drive and able to push really hard. Like I say, I've managed to get to the 45s, and my guess is you'd be able to get, probably with a bit of fine tuning on the setup, probably a very low 1 minute 45. As the car has got a lot of potential, especially through the fast corners where you're changing direction a lot. At the moment we were still not getting on that power early enough, but there's definitely potential within this setup. I wanted to get this out to you guys as, you know, it's something different from the GT3s all the time. Anyway guys, I'll leave the replay for you guys to watch. Make sure you subscribe if you like this video, and make sure you give me a thumbs up. Thanks again guys.